Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I want to remind all of you to check out Rumble, where we post all of my comments relating to the vaccine. We do that for obvious reasons. Also, don't forget to subscribe to BulldogTV.com. And I haven't done this for a while. The Bulldog Show on YouTube and Rumble, Bulldog Reports, and you can download apps for both of those. So don't forget to download the app for the Bulldog Show, down the app for the Bulldog Reports, which is our news repository. Last night, I had the privilege and honor at midnight to go on the Steve Summers show, which is called Overnight Drive. It's an internet show. A year ago, yesterday, Steve Summers lost his job for being a little politically outspoken on 700 WLW. And he called me the same day that he got canned. We went to Frisch's on Saturday morning, and I offered Steve Summers a job. I blew him away. I said, I'll pay you the same thing. Well, he found a home at Overnight Drive, and he does a 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. show, just like he did on 700 WLW. I hope we put the logo up there, and I want to encourage all of you to check out Steve Summers. I also offered to put his show on the Bulldog TV platform if that's something that we can do. And we've agreed to communicate more, cross-promote. And speaking of Steve Summers and the Overnight Drive and the trucking industry, what they're trying to do now, I mean, again, it's not bad enough that they did the lockdowns. It's not bad enough of all the masking and the vax. You know, they now have a trucking issue. You know what, folks? It might be that we have our shipping folks bring in to our ports these containers, and they're bottled up. And we may have gigantic cargo jets like DHL that fly into our airports. But from those ports, from those airports, there's only one industry that gets the goods to all of us and our stores that we go to, and that's truckers. And once again, Joe Biden does everything that he can to make it difficult. You have to be living under a rock, being blind or stupid, to not see that everything that's being done isn't being done because it's the right move to make. It is about some diabolical, sick government control transforming this country into a government cesspool. I mean, it's scary. And we have, what, 3.5, 4 years of this before another president takes office? Incredible. Joe Biden said the reports about $450,000 for each person separated from their family under the Trump administration was garbage. Now his administration has come out and said, no, it's not. That is what we're doing. Another example and proof of who's running the show. It isn't Joe Biden. Can you imagine all of these federal agencies and the White House staff, what they get away with doing because Joe Biden is such a weak, demented man? You get to do anything you want. Nobody is going, you don't have Donald Trump saying, what the hell are you doing? We're going to stop that. It's a free-for-all. John Durham issued another indictment on Igor Danchenko, who is the Russian analyst behind the dossier. And this is the second indictment. And, you know, one of the things that I'm planning on running when I run for governor, and I am running, is I'm going to go for wholesale reform of the civil and criminal legal justice system. Now, that's on a state level. But ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, you cannot justify the length of these investigations at all. Years. Years? How does it take years? It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. 19-year-old school board candidate. I'm trying to get Sabrina to run for the Pendleton County School Board. Apparently, somebody on the school board wrecked this 19-year-old senior year, so he decided to run against him and beat him. Of course, he wasn't 19 when he was a senior, but he ran against the guy and beat him. just like that story of that trucker. It's pretty cool. The Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, has thrown back in, again, showing their double down to their stupid thing, has thrown back into the bill, the Democrats have, and Pelosi, free medical leave, free family leave for 30 days. Again, here we are in a labor shortage, and they put that in the bill to satisfy their socialists in their party, their communists in their party. They're all communists, actually, to try to get it past the House. It's not going to make it past the old Senate. China has mocked. See, good old, just like Obama did the apology tour, Joe Biden goes out and apologizes for coming out of the climate accord. And what's China do? Makes fun of him. Makes fun of him. The labor productivity crashed 5% this past month, the worst in 40 years. Will somebody give me one thing in the last 10 months that the Biden-Obama administration, yeah, might as well, has done correctly? One thing. I mean, they are just wrecking everything. Portland is now refunding the police. The mayor's now saying refund the police. Imagine that. AOC says that the losses on Tuesday night were because the Democrats were too moderate. See? Too moderate. Papa John's, John Shatner, talks about how he was crucified when he was the CEO of Papa John's. This is an example of the corporate sick world. This guy founds Papa John's. This guy builds Papa John's. He's the head of Papa John's. And he gets kicked out of a bunch of bogus race crap. See how corporate America works? Can you imagine how John Shatner feels? He had to be, I don't know how he kept his sanity. Kicked out of the company that you founded. Manchin, did you see this? Manchin's was in a car, his Maserati, he can afford it. He gets accosted by climate change folks. I mean, can you imagine if this happened to Nancy Pelosi? Where are even the Democrats calling for all these people to be arrested and charged? You've got a United States senator whose car is terrorized while he's in it. That is bad stuff, folks. Whatever happened to the people that did the same thing to Rand Paul and his wife? Nothing. Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican who ran for governor of New Jersey, is not conceding. I hope he finds some votes somewhere. Last but not least, I want to comment on Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs is the Alabama graduate drafted by the Oakland Raiders 2 years ago and was going to be their star receiver, who was driving his Chevrolet Corvette 156 miles per hour, crashing into another car. He has a blood alcohol level of 0.16, killing a woman and her dog. She's a mother of a child, burning up in the car. And there's all kinds of video footage of this, you know, him crying outside. Raiders have cut him. His life and career is over. And I thought to myself, 22 years old, rich. I think he had $8 million guaranteed money on a $16 million 4-year contract. He gets cut by the Raiders. But think about it, 22 years old, rich, living in Vegas. What bad things can happen? And it's just awful. It's just absolutely awful. That poor woman that burnt up. But what I wanted to comment about is some of the people who have spoken out to support Ruggs in this very difficult time. I mean, if he's your friend, don't you speak up? The quarterback, the coach immediately comes out and says, we got to focus on the deceased. Well, no doubt. Can you imagine how Ruggs feels? Sure, he was drunk, he was driving too fast, and it's god awful. But his friends can't support him, you know, when somebody does something bad and wrong. And I mean, can you imagine psychologically what he's going through? Don't get me wrong. It doesn't compare to what that family lost, the innocence. But it cracks me up that no compassion from his friends is allowed to be expressed to him. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.